Welcome to the world of luxury motoring. This is a luxury-filled, tech-filled, feature-filled SUV from Volvo. Has Volvo ever failed to deliver those 3 points? Never. Even from the early days when they were just a simple Swedish company producing sedans, station wagons mostly, they were famous for their station wagons. Volvo always delivered three very important things: quality, features, safety, technology. Technology in those times were not as complicated as today. Now we have a brand new Volvo XC90, which is the biggest, baddest, most well-equipped Volvo you can buy in any country. This is the Volvo model that has retrained the way Volvo thinks about their cars and their customers. That came on by itself because we were talking. It's voice activated. There's a Google Assistant there. Now, Volvo today is owned by Geely. Geely is a big Chinese automotive group. They own Volvo. They took over Volvo some years ago. And when they took over Volvo, there was a big shift in the way Volvo started making money. Because before that, Volvo was in trouble with its previous owner. Now, we'll not talk about the previous owner. You can Google and find that out. The most important thing is Volvo was in trouble and Geely came and saved them. So it took a big Chinese company to save an iconic car company from disappearing globally. So when Geely came in, very simple. They didn't try to rewrite the book. They gave them a checkbook, an empty checkbook, all pre-signed, and said, develop your best ever SUV, make it beautiful, make it globally recognizable, and just spend the money. Just do it. And we'll help you behind the scenes with technology, manufacturing, and everything else. And of course, financially. So they did that. And when the XC90 came out, boom, it was a global bestseller. The success of the XC90 under Geely is similar to what happened with Porsche with the Cayenne. Before the Cayenne came along, Porsche was in trouble. I mean, can you imagine Porsche, the sports car company, in trouble? But when they developed the Cayenne and they tested the market with it, boom, it sold like hotcakes and it made so much money for Porsche. Porsche recovered. Until today, Porsche is doing so well thanks to the Cayenne. So just like that, Volvo's success story comes with the XC90. And this today is the latest XC90, the 2025 model, the car, the SUV that everybody has been talking about because it's globally recognizable. So what is the dynamics of this Volvo SUV? What makes it so special in terms of behind the wheel experience? First of all, you get in a lot of familiar bits and pieces from the previous model. Yes, it's an all-new model, but if it ain't broken, why fix it? So there were a lot of features in this car, in the cabin, that actually made a lot of sense even, 10 years ago. So Volvo is continuing to use these great features like the steering wheel. Simple, straightforward, easy to use, multi-function steering wheel. Instrument cluster, same. Slightly larger, same. Center console, slightly better graphics, better interface at the back, but it's roughly the same if you look at the older car. Fit and finish, almost the same. The beautiful crystal geared shifter, still the same, because why? It's beautiful. Nobody has a gear shifter like this. The ignition button, the little twist knob here, same thing. The function buttons here, the aircon vents, the door paneling, the seats, all very similar. The Bowers and Wilkins sound system, beautifully delivering sound that you will not believe until you get into it and listen to your favorite tune. I cannot emphasize the fact how well Volvo has tuned the sound system to work with this cabin space. Wherever you sit inside this cabin, it's beautifully done. The speakers on the door panel have this cheese grater kind of feel to it. Same door handle, same grab handle, same buttons for the power window, the adjustments for the side view mirrors. In fact, if you are coming from the previous XC90 and you got into this car, it'll be so familiar. It'll be so familiar. You might have to learn this a little bit, but it's very quick to learn. You got Google Assistant to help you. But it's very quick, very responsive, and very, very informative. But when you hammer the throttle on this plug-in hybrid T8, that's when you realize why you're going to pay money to buy this new XC90. They've improved the drivetrain in so many small areas that makes a lot of sense. Then you got the air suspension, so comfortable. You can just hammer along and not feel anything on the road. Then you got the sound insulation. You see, they took what was already very good and just made it better. Despite its large size, this is a large vehicle. If you park it in a parking lot, it's line to line, line to line. And still, it's easy to maneuver because what? You got very good park assist, very clear screen, very easy to use. I'll show you in a little bit. Look at that screen. Look at how clear it is. Look at the clarity. It's fantastic. You can even see the little bit of dirt on the tarmac behind us. Look at that, how responsive it is. So Volvo has done a lot to make sure that you have a nice vehicle to work with, play with, enjoy, without worrying about its sheer size and heft, if you might say. The steering is beautifully weighted. You got driving modes to pick from. We are right now in Eco, and still it's very, very fast, very quick, very responsive. Then when you come to a bump, it rides it so comfortably. That's the beauty about the combination of Swedish tech, Swedish common sense in terms of vehicle design, and putting some of the great back-end technology from China, from Geely, into this SUV. So the best of all worlds, you might say, in one vehicle. So I'm going to try and park it again, just to show you how clear this thing is. You know, how nice it is to work with. Now I will find something a bit gravelly. The lines show you that, hey, you're not going to make it because there's a tree there. And that's how easy it is to live with this XC90 on a daily basis. So now it's time for us to take a little bit of a walk around and show you all the great features bit by bit around the vehicle. One look and you'll straight away notice it's definitely a Volvo. The logo stands out no matter what. But they've redefined the grille. The lines have been moved around. The tall lights, headlamps are still here, but they're flushed and curved. They've just given this car a bit more of a streamlined, flushed, slippery shape. The previous XC90 was a bit more, boxy, squarey, tough. Now, it's been streamlined. If you come to the side view mirror, the profile, the hunch, it's all like the previous model. In fact, if you stand back and look at it, you'll say, hey, nothing much has really changed. But there are changes. So when you get to the back of the XC90, you'll notice lights, smoked, similar lights still, smoked. Makes a difference. Open the rear, tailgate opens. You've got a nice luggage space, even with the third row seat in play. That means while you're having 7 passengers, you still have some luggage room. Not a lot, but you still have luggage room. You got a little floor here, underfloor storage for your cables, because this is a plug-in hybrid. Now, assuming you want to load something in and it's a bit heavy and you're not as strong, basically someone like me, I'm not that strong, so I would like to lower the suspension. So the suspension actually goes down a little bit to allow you to carry and lift. Now, once you've done that, you can raise the suspension. It's easy because it's got air suspension. Now, if you need more luggage space and you don't have to carry 2 extra people, dropping the seats, very easy. Very easy. And here's the best part. Volvo actually makes it flat, completely flat. But when you want to pull back these seats, Volvo has forgotten about having a latch or a tab or some strap to pull it. So you got to reach and pull it up. Now, maybe they forgot about it, maybe they didn't think about it, but they should have it. It's a Volvo. Now, if you're having passengers sitting in the third row, they are not left out in terms of comfort. You've got aircon vents, you've got cup holders, so pretty decent still. Now, you're going to ask me, what about space? Come over this side. Now this, to lower this is very easy. Third row passengers, a bit tight. Look at the legroom. It's a bit tight, yes. But you still can have quite an easy seating posture for a young adult or a child. And you got a proper headrest. Flat. So, if I'm going to drop this, you have completely flat, huge luggage space. And this is the great thing about this XC90. The amount of space you have inside. I think a 2-door fridge will go in if it's not too wide. And that's great because if you're actually using it to carry barang, I don't know, some shopping from a knockdown furniture shop, it's got it. And now remember, cup holders, air conditioning vents, and everything is lined beautifully. You got power outlets here also. You got some straps here to hold some things down. Of course, this is the back cover. So that's the story of the rear. Let's get in front. So Volvo will give you a beautiful door panel with the bowels and wheel skin, like I told you earlier. Cheese grater cover, nice wood finish here, soft touch, premium material, aircon vents here, place to put some stuff here. You got aircon vents here, you got your own settings here, own temperature settings, another power outlet. But this is one feature which I want to explain to you if you're not familiar with Volvo. Now, if you've got a child, and instead of buying a child's seat, you have this. Volvo gives you this. No other manufacturer will give you this. It's a booster seat built into the center of the seat configuration. And it's so easy to use. Adjustable headrest. And if you don't want to use it, you can drop it easily. So they've made it very versatile. They made it very easy to use. Parents will love it. If you don't have a child in the car, drop this down. You got your cup holders. So they've thought of a lot of things, but they might have forgotten 1 or 2 things. It's okay. So 3 in the rear, no problem. Sunshade, grab handle lights, full length sunroof, and a very nice place to be in on a long drive. So the new XC90 comes in 3 variants. You have a mild hybrid, you have a full plug-in hybrid, and you have an electric version. We are test driving the 2-liter plug-in hybrid. So come closer, look at this engine. Now, of course, it's got a cover, there's not much you can see, but in this 2-liter turbocharged engine, it's a 4-cylinder, it gets 317 PS, 400 Newton meters of torque. and it's worked through the front wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission. All that is great. But the electric motor at the back, the little electric motor at the back, has 145 PS and 309 Newton meters of torque, which means there's a total output of an awesome 462 PS and 709 Newton meters of torque. That is why this car is so spirited, so quick, so entertaining to drive. Now, you'll do the 0 to 100 acceleration in 5.3 seconds, but the top speed is limited at 180 kilometers. That's fine. Now, the plug-in hybrid battery system, which we talked about earlier in this model, is an 18.8 kilowatt battery. So it'll give you about 77 kilometers of driving range on pure electric. A full charge on an AC charger will take 5 hours, and you can easily do it at home, so why you worry? Now, in terms of price, let's talk about price, because why? Everybody is going to ask you how much you paid for this car when you buy it. Now, this T8 is at 434,888. 434,888. That sounds like a lot of money, but think about what the competitors are selling for. The B5 mild hybrid is 418,000, and the full electric is 442. So at 434, the rivals are obvious. You've got the Audi Q7, you've got the Volkswagen Touareg, you've got the BMW X5, you've got Mercedes-Benz, you've got Toyota with the Land Cruiser. Of course, the Land Cruiser is, private import. And then you've got the Land Rover Defender. Now, the Land Rover Defender is slightly more. The Touareg, the Q7, the Mercedes, the BMW, they're all about the same price. So it all comes down to actually what tickles you in terms of the looks, in terms of the dynamics, and in terms of technology. Volvo is still the safest product in the world. I'll tell you why. Because Volvo is proudly saying, till today, there has been no fatalities in an XC90. No one has had a loss of life in an XC90 despite the numerous accidents around the world for various reasons. So they've managed to keep all their occupants globally alive.